Boys,
Brethrens,
men, gentlemen, episode 9. Welcome to the Elevate Barbering podcast.
We're
Hey,
here.
yeah. Let's get lit.
Drink champs.
All right, drink champ.
I like
Hey,
that.
right.
That's a reference.
All right. So, it's a special occasion, man.
Yep.
It's a special occasion today on the Elevate Barbering podcast, episode 9. Right before we hit double digits, we have our 2 new barbers in the house, Jimmy Fvdes and Joey Fadez. Give it up for the boys. Appreciate y'all boys joining us, man.
Appreciate you having us, man.
Definitely. So it's been a couple weeks now in the game. How do y'all feel about being here, man?
It's good, bro. It's a lot of fun. Good shop, good people. Everybody.
That sounds like some bullshit answer that
Good.
you would give.
Good.
Like if a News
ping
Channel
pong.
6 is interviewing you.
Nah,
Just
bro.
good.
No, how do you feel about being here, man? Like
It's good, man. I mean, it's a clean environment. It's fun. All my clients love it. Everybody's always complimenting the art and the people in here. Everybody always says what's up. It's good.
Survive.
I like that.
But
I'll take it.
Jimmy's about to
I'll
give
take
us
it.
some critiques right now.
I like it.
Nah, man, it's for sure a good vibe, man. It's always fun when everybody's in the shop. We got our down times, but when it's 1 or 2 people in here, but when everybody's in here, everybody's clients are coming in here, man. It's always a vibe, always a good time.
So always love.
That's what I like about being in the shop. That's the biggest thing is the environment. So
Yep. Jimmy, you came from a fucking suite. So
2 times.
How's the vibe now that you're in a shop? Now that you're in a shop rather than before.
I'll tell you one
whenever
thing, man.
You were by yourself.
I'll tell you one thing, working from 9 to 9, like on a Saturday, I can easily do that here, because, we cracking jokes or we talking about sports, who's the greatest, artist or whatever. But, being by yourself is a totally different thing. It's like you just want to get out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's an intimate, setting with you and your client. You could, listen to music, have conversations that you probably don't want other people to hear. Mm-hmm. But I feel like overall, man, being in the shop is better. It's just totally better for your mental health. Everything.
Hell yeah. Do you feel like the clients like it better? Or do you think that-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, just depending on how your suite is, but you can only do so much. Everybody that has come to this shop has been like, yo, man, thank you for coming to this shop because setting is everything, man. Setting is everything. And it's just like when people see the art on the walls or they hear the music or they hear other people's conversations, it's like, okay, man, now it's more than just coming to get a haircut. It's like now, I can talk shit to the other person or, whatever. So
I feel that. I'm gonna add on to that though. When I was like cutting in my garage, a lot of my clients are from the garage, so a lot of people don't like it because it's not so intimate. It's not so one-on-one now. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my clients are younger and in high school, and they're like, it's different from them to come into a barbershop because they're so used to just coming into my garage and getting a haircut, rather than just coming to the shop with a whole bunch of other people.
No, I can see that, and that's the downside of it is that you lose a little bit of that privacy. But I think like you said, on a scale overall, I think it weighs more in the pros section. Yeah, because like you said, even those days where you don't feel as talkative, or maybe that haircut, your mind's on something else. Like you mentioned, the pressure is not 100% on you to provide that experience. It's the shop doing it. Yep. So like you said, it could be a side conversation, or maybe there's really nothing to talk about in that moment, but something gets triggered and you think of something, and then now we get a whole conversation, a shop conversation.
Well, that's another reason I like being in the shop is because like the other day, I didn't even have an answer to the question that I had, but I was just stirring the pot. Like, okay, who's the greatest here? And you guys would be getting into it, or your clients would be getting into it, and I'm just staying quiet over there. Yeah. I just started something, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's what I like too. An instigator, yeah, pretty much. So
no, it's good though. And also like if you're having an off day, the energy that you get from other people is gonna change. Just like that. You're having a fucked up day. You come in, you see fucking smiling faces. Joey's nice, pretty smile. We can fucking. It'll just change you upside down. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that part I like the most. I came from like a shop where I was by myself for the most part. Dude, that shit was fucking torture.
Yeah,
that shit was fucking boring.
If it's all day, every day, But it's nice when you get a little flow change, like throughout the week. You get those 1 or 2 days where you are by yourself, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe I could think some shit out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Chill out with my people. Or you get those, you can fit in those conversations that you have with your people that they don't want other people to hear. Because sometimes it is a real personal conversation, and you know you're cool with people, but you don't want them to know all your business like your
Right.
barber knows. You know. So I think that's always convenient. Because we definitely got the tea. You know what I'm
on
saying?
everybody. Literally on everybody.
Keep it professional. You know what I'm saying? We ain't spilling it over here.
It's like a doctor.
Urban
Yeah.
therapist.
A little
Sure.
bit. A little bit.
The good thing I like also is the different types of the different. Not only obviously you got the different personalities, we've talked about that, but then also the different journeys that everybody is on. You know, because we all have our own personal goals. Obviously, we're all doing our own thing here together.
Yeah.
But then the fact that we're all assisting each other head towards your personal goals and see how that plays out in a different direction, because barbering is so vast in the different directions and ways you can go. Trying to figure out what type of barber you want to be, a lot of times is the hardest part.
For sure.
Right.
What do you think about that, Joey?
I don't know. It's different, man. Coming from different shops, and you know, I've only really other been at one other shop, and you know, it's crazy how I never thought there would be completely different vibes somewhere else. So you know, coming to something new and something that you're not used to, it's a little bit of a change, but it's cool to see that other people can come from other things. So you know, you're not really locked down to one shop. Because I thought, you know, you're at a point to where you get to, you know, you're in a barbershop and that's it. You're a barber. You cut hair. But there's a lot more to it in here, and there's opportunity and places to grow. So
More than
it's
meets
cool
the
to
eye.
it's cool to see more stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is the important part. When I first got my license, my mind was just straight on getting a shop right away. And even though I knew I probably should go to other shops first and get that real first-hand experience in other people's barbershops, I felt like I just wanted to hurry up and get there. But now in retrospect, I'm glad that I spent those few years at other barbershops, multiple, because you get to really establish what from each one of those shops gives you a little piece of what you're trying to build, and then you add your own flavor to that.
For sure.
Otherwise, you don't really know what's going on outside. You know what I mean? You just have you're in a vacuum. You're only seeing what's going on in your shop, and you have no idea what other shops are operating like, what their clientele is like. That's another thing that I really enjoy is experiencing the different clientele, because every barber has clientele that suits them, obviously, by their personality, how they perform, things like that. So, Joey, you coming in, you're bringing in a lot of the young guys in here who like yourself, you know, don't have as much life experience. So they give a different perspective, like all the trash music artists that you guys like, things like that. No, but that's cool. And then same thing with Jimmy. Jimmy has a whole different, his clientele is different. So getting to see all those intermingle and then see them meet up together, I think that's dope. I'm sure, like you said, that they like getting the different, they're so used to you working by yourself that now they get a whole different collaboration going with personalities.
They're definitely used to because I'm more of the calm, cool, and collective kind of, you know, have a deep conversation or, you know, just talk about sports or whatever. But then you come to a place like this and they see you, and you know, you just
chill,
yeah, you
calm,
just who
laid
you
back.
are. That's definitely not it.
Quiet.
Chill.
But that's the kind of stuff that like my clientele needs, because they don't get that from me. Like we can joke, you know, here and there, but like when you do what you do, you know what I'm saying? That makes them be like, yo, I like going to the shop because
Some entertainment.
entertainment for you, and then get a fresh cut from you.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes the shop vibe just, you know, comfortable as well.
100%, yeah.
That's my
And
biggest
it sets
thing.
the whole precedent of being in a barbershop. So you get that vibe that you can be yourself. You can just chill, calm down. You could talk some shit. You could say some crazy shit, and we're probably gonna say some crazy shit back.
Yeah.
So it just makes everybody more comfortable in a way that they're not so stiff at a barbershop.
Right.
You make the music loud as shit.
Dude,
You can say what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
The person right next to you is probably not gonna hear you. Or the
Unless it's
music
gay.
then we're definitely gonna fucking hear that shit a mile away. But yeah, that's what sets the vibe, and that's what's great about here.
Yep. Everybody has their own personality.
Oh yeah, it's accepted.
That's always, I feel like, my number one priority when it comes to the clientele that come in is just making them feel comfortable, like not just physically, but you know, mentally, emotionally, and not feel like they have to present a certain image or not let these people see who I really am. Because honestly, when it comes to people in general, that's a huge pet peeve of mine, and it's something that I know it's very, very common. I understand where it comes from, but people not being comfortable being themselves at all times. You know, they feel like, okay, I'm in this place. I don't want these people to know this. I don't want them to see this side of me. They might judge me too hard. They might not accept me. But this is the place where I don't want any of that happening. Like, I don't care who you are, how crazy you are. I don't nothing. As long as you're who you are.
And yeah, and being in here, I've noticed a lot that, you know, a lot of my clientele is younger, like I said, and like, you know, they're like other barbershops, they'd be really like up close and tight. And now, you know, they're sharing opinions and all talking. It's just cool to see everything like come together.
Exactly. That makes me happy to see, because at least I'll embarrass myself all day if it means people will like chill out and like be real. Because I hate that. I hate when I can feel that someone is not being themselves and they're like holding back. I'm like, come on, man, let it out. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the vibes of the shop, man.
So what do you guys feel about the industry? I know that that's something that we've talked about before, Jimmy, like the direction of where you're trying to go, trying to kind of bring something new and innovative to the game, but not knowing where that's going to be. I feel that 100%, and I think about that a lot when it comes to what we see on social media with barbers, the conventions. Like you mentioned, I'm not hating on it, what they're doing, but it is starting to get to the point where everybody is doing the same things, you know, because they kind of feel like, what else is there to do? So trying to figure out, you know, Vic Blends had his go give out free haircuts in the street, and A-Rod had his crazy color collabs with designs. And then, you know, it's like, what other innovation or avenue can we do to elevate the barber game? That's like the question of the year.
So me and Gonzo was actually talking about that. So me and you were talking about it earlier, and then we started talking about it the other day. And it's one of them things where whenever you see something new, you tend to find out that it's not really something new. He was like, don't reinvent the wheel. Just take something from the past, like that was a long time ago, that a lot of people nowadays don't even know about. And then you just put your own spin onto it. It's kind of like with artists, you know what I mean? Like you hear one song, like for me, Big Papa by Biggie Smalls. Like that was the first time I heard that beat. And then I grew up, and then I heard like, yo, that's not even his
original.
beat. You know what I'm saying? I hear that all the time from artists. So that's just something that I'm trying to put my spin on, is like, what can I create that will actually change the game for the better? So it's not so oversaturated with the same thing, like teaching a fade class or teaching a scissor class. You know, it's just like the same things over and over and over. You know, try to go in a different direction and, you know, create another avenue to get to that same spot that everybody's trying to get to. You know what I'm saying?
We're still being genuine with yourself, you know?
Right. Yeah.
That's the hardest part, because you could fake something all day, but it's not going to be creative.
Right.
It's not going to be you. So that's the hardest part, definitely. And just trying to find something innovative in an old ass barbering game that everybody's done everything, but making it your own is what makes it unique.
Right.
I'm thinking while you guys are talking, like what crazy thing could you do that way? And I think another thing that makes it tough is when you get experimental with it, you're experimenting with people's hair and their look, you know, so that makes it a lot harder to find people who are willing to do something experimental and say, okay, I don't know how this is going to come out, but it sounds fun. Let's do it. You know what I mean? It's like, well, yeah, then I got to wear this for 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like haircut races, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Something
That would be dope.
Something like, hey, we got 15 minutes, do the best haircut you can and fit. Kind of like the fastest fade competitions, but like, you know, maybe a versus, you know, like kind of like the hip hop versus, but then do that through the barbering way.
They were doing that before, the barber verses. Papito Blessings.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
exactly. It didn't last long, but it was like
that's right.
But bringing that's something different. But they were getting a lot of people turning into that.
Yeah, I wonder why they did stop that. But I would say do something like that, but with like a more social media-esque driven way, because they had like a full hour. You know what I mean? Something that adds like just a twisted touch to it, like. You know, when people freestyle and then they got somebody just spitting words out and then they have to kind of use those words.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, I don't know, think of something like that. It's so tough when you try to get creative with this kind of stuff.
It's hard, man.
Because
it's hard.
You run into that problem.
That would be dope on like a competition wise, like a barber battle, kind of like a walk-in-esque, and everybody has their own kind of cut that they have on a piece of paper. and you have the client. Like once the client sits down, then they tell you what cut they're getting. Kind of like a walk-in barbershop. You know how like barber battles, niggas already
You're
have
prepared.
You already have your client. You already know what you're gonna do.
Pre-cut.
You probably pre-colored everything, but this client crazy. But let's just say this client comes in and it's like a walk-in barbershop. They know what they're getting, and it could be any fucking canvas, redhead, blonde hair.
You don't know how much hair they got.
Exactly. That would be a dope ass like actual like what category for a barber battle
Or
that
even,
they haven't done yet.
It's something we might be able to do or try. You know, is experiment doing like one video, like come up with an idea like that, and then run it once and see how it works out. And then just at least you have that piece of content, and then you start running with it from there. I really like the idea. I know this is far-fetched given what we've seen through the barbering community, but something where you involve like barbershops against barbershops, you know, where you can feel more like teams, not in a negative
more division.
way. No. That's what I'm saying. But like friendly competition, like, you know, the NBA league, you wouldn't consider that division. It's a league and you have teams and they're going against each other for something.
It's tough to do. That's dope, but that'll be tough to do because you know, people to compete and do that. It's hard enough to do it. You know, like when Ocala has the barber battles, like nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So
I'm thinking a dodgeball game, bro.
There you go.
Dodgeball game.
Anybody could fucking play dodgeball or a kickball game.
And yeah, because it doesn't even have to be, when it comes to this stuff, it's just
I'm
something to
thinking
bring the
physical.
people together.
I'm thinking competition.
Yeah.
So nobody can really play basketball, and nobody's touching me in Ocala or Elevate in Ocala. Just so you know.
Nobody's touching you anyway.
And then nobody touched me anyway. But yeah, dodgeball. Anybody can play. You could be fat, skinny, slow.
If you can
play
dodge a
dodgeball.
wrench,
There's definitely
you can
levels
dodge
to
a ball.
dodgeball though.
What?
There's definitely levels.
Definitely levels. Yeah, we busting ass.
Yeah.
I see some dudes.
Bro, I'm winning against all of y'all.
Well, we're on the
Taking
same
you
team.
out.
Yeah, we're on. Come on.
You got to go.
Or what we could do,
You're not getting
to set it off is you have your clients, you have your clients, you have your clients, I have my clients, and then that we could start it off that way, so we can get like a
like my
team
clients
cons
versus your
or-
clients.
what is
Whooping
attraction?
ass,
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
well, we'll slaughter you guys. for
Yeah, I got
sure.
some crazy motherfuckers.
We're gonna have to run it then. We'll have to figure out.
That's
where to do it.
the only way I see it like catching traction, because you know.
Hey, all
Who's
my
down for
clients
some
are in high
dodgeball?
school. Y'all are gone. Y'all are done
Yeah,
for.
That's why you're getting squashed.
Yeah. They don't got
Your
experience.
team is definitely out bro,
Yeah.
already.
That would be fire though.
No, what?
When
We
will
should get it. We should get it
We
going.
get that rocking. Summertime, kickball would be fire too.
Mm-hmm.
Knock that shit to the back.
Softball tournament.
That's crazy.
So Joey, what about you, man? You're finishing high school right now. You're looking forward through your barbering career, transitioning from a walk-in shop to a appointment-based only shop. What do you feel like that change has been like for you? And also still being in high school, like transitioning into the
Yeah, I mean, you know, being in high school doesn't play a huge part. I have 3 classes right now, so, you know, it kind of just goes by and then I come to the shop and get to work. But, you know, I'm still growing. There's still days where I don't do haircuts. And, you know, being used to a walk-in shop, it was kind of like every day you were doing something, you know. You never were really sitting around. I don't like sitting around, but, you know, over time it'll grow. And slowly but surely it's growing. It's just hard to wait to see that, that growth, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the hardest part. The patience for that is definitely the toughest.
Definitely. Don't miss those days.
We all been through that. Yeah, it's nice to be out of it. That's honestly what scares me about moving anywhere. Like if ever comes time, we talked about a little bit the other day, if it ever comes time where I have to move, because ultimately it doesn't matter how good of a barber you are. You go to a new town, nobody knows you. Nobody, like, yeah, you got your Instagram, but it's not the same. Like it's not the same as even for a lot of clients. I think it's interesting how if you're a barber in a barbershop, you've been there a while. Let's say Jimmy or Gon, any of you guys, if you have a client who comes in here all the time, they've never gone to me for a haircut, but they're way more likely to come to me for a haircut now that they've been around me than going to anybody else.
Definitely.
Which is so strange too, because it's like just your physical presence there makes someone more comfortable going to that person or seeing that they have people in their chair. I don't know. Then you go somewhere new and you can have all this proof, but it's still like, man, but I don't know. I don't know how old those pictures are for real.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, that scares me about having to move anywhere. I know that, you know, I've definitely thought about it, but I feel like that would always having to go back through that phase, you know, start that patience all the way over.
Yeah,
again.
and another thing, I feel like a lot of clients are loyal to the shop, not the barber.
Yeah.
You think so? No, I think that's more of a walk-in shop thing.
From my experiences, I think from what I've seen so far, I think a lot of them are loyal to the shop and not the barber.
What do you think, Gonzo?
Oh yeah,
You think
I
that too?
So. Yeah, if you've been going to a shop for, let's say, like 5-10 years, you're already comfortable with the shop. Just like you said, you're comfortable with seeing that barber.
Yeah.
So if they're comfortable with just going to the shop, and that's how they got to the shop, was just taking any fucking barber.
If that's if that's how they got it,
and they're already cool with all the barbers too. It's like,
but
why the
that's
fuck
what I'm
would I
saying.
go?
If you're not working off appointments, you're just walking in, and if you
Exactly.
can't get a haircut, and then the next guy can, you're gonna get a decent haircut.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really matter.
It's a good and bad thing about a walk-in barbershop, but it's on you to get those clients, as your client, and try to separate them from the shop.
Mm-hmm,
But some people you're not going to change over, but
What do
you'll
you
be able to, yeah.
What do you think you guys would want to see in terms of the limited time you've been here? If you think about the future of the shop or the future of you being part of this shop, what do you see being something that you would like to, or what is something you would like to see, or something you think would be useful or beneficial for the team?
I got some. I'm big on customer service. Always customer service. So anything that provides more service to the client. So I don't know, doing something outside, like you said, the mountain biking thing or whatever, to make it more of a community versus you just coming. I like how we talked about. I like the fact that the clients, they build a relationship with us, and I also get a haircut with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I want that to be more of a secondary thing. You know what I mean? Because anybody can get a nice haircut, but not a lot of people have good relationships with their clients. You know what I mean? And that's the longevity aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like I hear people that come to me saying they moved from another state. Yeah, man, I've been with my barber for like 20 years. And it's like, man, I want that. You know what I mean? There's some people, because, being a barber could be a lonely thing, because a lot of the times people just leave you and you're not on a need to know basis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's an intimate interaction with your clientele. So it's, like I said, it's very important to build that relationship. And, when they do leave you without any say, it's kind of like, man, I thought we had something.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like they broke up
But
with you.
we were
even
cool, bro.
even now, like when I come here and clients don't come to me anymore for whatever reason, and I see that they're coming to one of you guys, that makes me okay, because at least the team is getting fed from
Exactly.
from that, you know what I'm saying? So it's customer service over everything.
Yeah, I would agree. With that.
And to add on to that, a lot of my clientele is still young and figuring out life, so a lot of them aren't comfortable coming to the barbershop. And I've had a lot of people ask, like, hey, can you just get me at home in the garage? And I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I'm appointment only now. I leave all my stuff here. So to make them more comfortable is definitely like one of my goals, and to show them that, it's all right. We're all in here just cooling,
Yeah, that's the important part, especially for those people that are just maybe a little shy or introverted in that way. At that time in their life is important, because they're about to enter the real world. Like, you don't want to, I hate to say it, but like being a young man, if you're afraid to walk into a barbershop, like you're going to have a lot of problems coming up real soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this isn't even a hostile environment. You know what I mean? This is...
But it's intimidating. And even growing up, I hated going to the barbershop, because I was always scared to tell them what I want. I was scared to tell them what they needed to fix. I would never say it. I would just be like, all right, it's good. And everybody jokes about that now, but that's like a real thing. It's
it's
still
true.
a real thing. Like people still go through that. So I try to always double check with my clients. Like, is there anything I can do to make it better? Let me know exactly what I can do.
Yeah, that's super important. And anytime I feel like you can tell when they're holding something back. And be like, bro, I know you see something you want me to fix. Like, what is it? I don't care. Like, tell me.
I'd rather them tell me to fix something, because I'm there putting my all into it, right?
Right.
And if I show you the haircut and you're just like, oh yeah, it's good,
Then it's like,
I want them to be like, yo, can you fix this a little bit? Because it makes me feel like they care.
Right.
Like I care. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even look in their mirror. They're like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's
Some people got the fucking nerve to be like, that nigga fucked me up. It's like, you could have spoke up.
Yeah. After that, that's and that's like 90% of them.
Bro, it was kind of on you, and a little bit on the barber though too.
I mean, no, because sometimes it's just preference. Like sometimes you didn't fuck it up. It wasn't exactly how they liked it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes how they like it is stupid. but that's what they want. So I'm not going to tell you it's stupid unless you ask me. If you ask me what I think of it, I'll be like, I don't really like it, bro. It's not really my thing. Right. But if that's how you want it, you're paying me for it. As long as you happy with what you get when you walk out of here, I'm good. You know?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, if their way is dumb, I'm gonna sell my way, because a lot of the times they'll be like, "Yeah, Jimmy cut my hair." I'm like, "Nah, I don't want that on me."
That's
you know
unfortunate. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
You gotta have like a little sweet spot,
have to.
Like something that they want, and then put your little spin on it.
You got to.
Because you're an artist at the end of the day. You're
For
gonna,
sure.
You're gonna put your little spin on it. Every time.
Sometimes they ask for a temp fade, and you got to give them a full fade. You know.
That doesn't happen. Not in Gonzo's chair.
What were you gonna say?
But I feel like it's hard because, you know, like, you want to recommend the best haircut for somebody, but at the same time, like I said, if a barber would have said, you know, like growing up, if a barber was like, "Hey, you know, I think this would look a little better," I would have just been like, "Yeah, go ahead." I would have had no input on it.
But I feel like that was more just because you didn't want to like make him feel like he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, but that's normal. Like, that's a normal thing. I see that all the time.
Well, that's the barber's job, to make you feel comfortable.
Yeah,
because
for
a lot of them just like, you know, they're hard looking. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I agree.
That's
it's
the
intimidating.
job. Yeah, that's the job on the barber.
A lot of people are people pleasers too. Like they don't want to fucking say anything to
contradict
contradict you or hurt your feelings or anything. They'll just deal with it and deal with the repercussions afterwards rather than speaking up in that moment. And that's an issue with a lot of people.
Yeah, I've had clients tell me, like, I'm scared to say something because I'm afraid the barber is gonna mess me up because because I told him what I wanted. I'm like,
that's not unheard of either, because I want to put the blame at least 50% on the barbering industry too, because there's so many barbers that are so egotistical and prideful that if someone tells them at the end of the cut anything, they're instantly like, "What do you mean? No, it's good."
Yeah,
like, what do you
exactly.
mean? Oh, I don't know how to cut. You trying to tell me? Oh, you know how to cut? And I've seen that happen. I've heard of it happening many times.
Crazy.
And that is, I think, a lot of the reason why that fear is instilled in a lot of people, because they're like, I actually had a client tell me one time here in Ocala that he told the barber something about, I'm trying to remember so I'm not like talking crazy, but I want to say he told the barber about something that he didn't like, and he ended up getting punched in the face.
Ooh.
Like
Ooh.
It escalated quickly.
The
to
barber
that.
punched the client?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It escalated quickly to that level. And there's definitely bits and pieces of the story that I'm forgetting right now, but I know that it started off that way and it ended off that way. And that he was just like, and then apparently everybody was acting like nothing, like everybody else in the shop. And I'm just like, that is insane. Like, crazy. That's like the most extreme level of that.
That's wild.
Even just for a barber to have a problem with somebody saying something is wild, because it's like we are in the service industry. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we are serving that client. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, if it's not a good fit, that's for the next time. Right now, you're laying down your work on this person, and they're supposed to leave happy. Like, I would say if it gets to a point where it's like, I'm not trying to deal with this, then you just need to comp the cut. You just need to say, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry it didn't work out. Don't worry about the payment, because obviously this, you're not happy." And for me, I'll take that all day over creating a negative situation, because at least in that case, this person is unhappy. They didn't really like their experience, but they also didn't come out of pocket for that. So they will feel a lot more comfortable and appreciative that, hey, look, that didn't work out, but he didn't also try to take my money and leave me unhappy.
Yeah.
And then that they don't have so much bad stuff to say,
Yeah.
You got a bad haircut, but what can you really say bad about it? You didn't try to sit there and correct it. You didn't try to tell them what they needed. You just took the L and said it how it was.
And like you said, 99% of the time they're not going to tell you why they left. They could have not a bad thing to say about you, but this one thing that you did or said that one time just kind of made them feel uneasy, or they got tired of having to say the same thing to the person and then them not listen. I don't know. You know what I mean? But you'll never know, because we don't have exit interviews, And then if you see that person in the street, you're not going to be like, "Hey, bro, why'd you stop coming to me?" You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to put them in that position either. And chances are, even if you did, they're not going to tell you the truth anyway. They're going to make up some BS, because usually the first thing they say is, "Oh, man, I've been meaning to come over there and see you."
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
you got a fresh ass cut right now. What you mean?
Or like, you've been all booked up.
Right.
That's what you gotta say.
Oh, man,
you've been all booked up. I can't get
I've been
you.
slow for like 2 weeks. What do you mean?
Yeah, for real. And especially in school, man, seeing my clients every day, you know, there's some people that you thought would never switch up, and I'm like, yo, what's
It
up,
hurts
bro?
you a little bit.
What happened,
Hurts
dude?
you a little bit, but
For me, it's less of the hurt and more like the why. I just want to know why. Like, what was it?
Yep.
Like that one client that we lost, and we know exactly why.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Fuck
that.
that guy.
I'm satisfied with that because we know exactly why. It's cool. But not knowing why just leaves you like something to be desired. Like I wonder. You know, we've had clients come in. I'm sure we all have before, talking shit about other barbers that they've had, right? And you know most of the time it's mostly bullshit. Like it's their own weird subjective experience, and they're twisting it to their way or whatever. So I'm always wondering like what the stories are for the people that left me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what they're saying. I know one of them. I can tell you one. I mean, I know one for a fact, and I know it was bullshit. But it's
That's
just
funny.
it makes me feel good to know because you're just like there's closure.
There's closure,
there.
that's
you know
all
what I
it
mean.
is.
You're like,
That's all it
okay,
is.
that's why it's all good. It's never personal. And then when you see those people, like you said, it's all love. Even when I was in Sam's the other day and I saw somebody that stopped coming to me for a long time. He was with me for a long time, has been gone for a long time. And when I saw him, I was genuinely happy to see him. Like, yo, what's up? Happy to see you. Good to see you doing good. You know, like for me, it really comes down to that because it is about the people. You know, it's like, I'm just glad to see you're good.
Try not to make it about a haircut.
Yeah, it's not.
'Cause we're regular people.
Exactly. It's just
it's not
good
a
to-
relationship here, you know.
Or I hate when people.
I don't know.
I hate. That's another thing. Like I'm just a regular guy, right? I'm a barber, but people only see me as a barber. So when I don't see, I would say a customer for a while, that's all they have to talk about. Oh man, I've been meaning to book you, but why not just be like, hey man, how are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's because that's what I say. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? And then their first reaction, oh, I'm good, man. I meant to make it. Like,
like-
bro, I'm not coming after you.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, man, like I'm,
just having a talk. Like,
Yeah.
what's good? How the kids?
Yeah,
You good?
something.
What you been up to lately?
But-
you know?
They feel a little bad. That's why.
But that's what it is.
They just
It's
do
because
that.
it's an intimate interaction with the person, and you're leaving them without any reason, so you feel guilty, automatically. But like, it don't gotta be
like,
that way.
oh,
You know what I'm saying?
And that's just
Try to
like I
dodge
feel
them.
like that's just growing like to more like that comes right back to just making people comfortable. Like it just all comes back to that.
Yeah.
I feel like
A lot of times I'll tell people like their first or second time coming to me, or especially if they're new in town, I'll like kind of encourage them to go try out other barbers.
Yeah, have options.
Because I'm like, hey, you see how I'm cutting? Please go get a few other haircuts so I know you'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll get. So,
Imagine that motherfucker don't come
Yeah,
back.
like,
He's
oh,
you
damn,
got,
I
you got a
should've-
good one, motherfucker.
should've
God
told
damn.
her. No, and then sometimes it's just a fit thing, you know. Like I can tell when I'm cutting somebody's hair and they're cool. I don't have anything personal against them, but I'm like, this isn't my guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not clicking. It's a thing, you know. It's not a thing.
That's facts.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's
It's not a
definitely a
thing.
thing. There's something that turned their ass off.
And you can usually tell, like, okay, I actually know exactly the barber for you. Like, this guy will be perfect for you. And we know that when we send people out to walk-in shops.
yeah,
like,
bro.
you know if they're a Nick's Classic guy or a Barber's Den guy or, you know, High Class guy or King Cuts guy. You know, he's ripping Spanish right off rip.
yeah,
And you know King
yeah,
Cuts.
yeah,
You're
man.
good.
Send him right there.
You're going to get somebody that speaks Spanish in there.
For real. Shoot, they all do, right?
Yeah, like
It's a
pretty much
requirement,
everybody.
right?
Yeah, no,
No,
it's
I'm
not a
joking.
requirement. Pretty much everybody over there speaks
You don't
Spanish.
speak Spanish? Get the fuck out of here.
But that's another good reason to go back to being in a suite versus a shop is like they say you or Gonzo, anybody is booked up, they can go to the next person as
Right.
long as the money stays in home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another. instead of always
in-house.
yeah,
Yeah.
instead of always sending them elsewhere.
Yeah, because we always sent people at other places.
We had no choice.
Yeah, yeah. But
So
we've had good feedback from that shit. But like they were like, "Thank you," you know. They're appreciative. So I think that's another thing that we're about too is spreading love and not being fucking bitter because somebody else goes to the next barbershop. I think that's what we've always been
It's too-
about
it's too
since
many
the,
people
since the
out there,
very
man.
beginning. I believe me and Philby have been like that with barbers and shit. You know, trying to get a community together, try to get everybody together in one
Yeah.
space, you know, without any kind of hate, you know, bringing it back to the fucking, the meetup. Was that 2 years ago now?
We keep saying we got to do one. We got to
Yeah.
do one. Definitely, we got to set one up for January. After the holidays. We got
Just
time.
gotta do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's the slowest time, so.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think not only for the clients is that good, for the people that we do send to other barbershops, but it helps the other barbers see that we're not those people. Like we
Yeah.
have no problem sending you clients because there's no malicious intent here. Like, hey, we can't take them. You go ahead. Like I'm not, and also it's viewed as a compliment because it's like, hey, if I'm willing to send somebody to you, that means I respect your work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna send somebody to you if you're trash.
Yep.
And, you know, we send people over there all the time, and then it's like, oh, those guys aren't, because we could just be like, nah, man, I don't know where to go, bro. It's everybody else is trash. You know what I mean?
Like, nah.
But that's not what it's about. And then also, you're helping everybody involved see that you're just there to offer resources, bro. You're just there to help.
And another thing, you know, you want to move with intent. So, you know, another idea is you can, you know, some of our clients that are business people, realtors, doctors, nurses, or whatever, we could also invite them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we can always network off of each other and just have, you know, just create something versus
network
just
a bit.
instead of just us barbers and what are we going to talk about? You know what I'm saying? We can always have, you know, I can interact with the next person, you know.
You know, now that you say
That's
that,
what-
would be a dope idea if we did that kind of event, like a general networking event.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But then we set up the show, the podcast, they're live. Like
that would
not
be
maybe
fire.
not literally like send it live, but we set up what we got going on here live, like at the event.
Yeah.
And then it's a full length, go record, we hit record, and then we cycle the people through. So we sit somebody down, talk to them, boom. Hey, yo, what's up? Sit down, come sit down, talk to us. Boom. You know what I mean? Then we might have like an hour-long thing when you cycle through all these people, and now we can help put our clients on, put their stuff out. Then we have some social media clips to give out.
There you go. Like that's like I haven't seen that done, so that could be
A good
something
way.
that I'm talking about as far as changing the game. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because that's where it stems from is the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Or like how it was whenever we did it. You were walking around with the
Like a
camera,
vlog,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like a vlogging type of situation.
Check out Filthy Fades on YouTube if you want to see that vlog.
Plug.
Plug that in there.
But yeah, kind of like that. Mic up everybody as they go. Like have those go mics and
Mm-hmm.
fucking, you know, start interviewing on the go. You'll be behind the camera.
Yeah,
Or
like
in
yeah,
front of the
even the
camera.
little interviews, like what's your name? What do you do? Like
That'd
you
be
know,
dope.
What's your name
advice.
and what do you do?
Kind of underwear do
What do
you
you
wear?
want to do when you grow
Yeah.
up?
For real.
Diesel. Oh, I was answering my own question. My bad.
No, that'll be fire though. Like
And that's what blows up on social media now.
Yeah.
It's like like you know little stupid clips like you know walk up to somebody, hey, like you know what's your name? What do you do? Like little stuff like that is where it's at almost.
At least locally too. Get some local awareness for everybody because everybody has their own little network itself, like realtors, attorneys, all that shit. So it'd be great.
Especially in Ocala. I didn't mean to cut you off if I
you
did,
go.
but especially in Ocala because Ocala is the type of place where there's so many people here and there are a lot of things that people have going on, but people don't get together. People are in their own little vacuums and own little circles of people doing things, and you might pop up and see something here or there, but there's no like large awareness of different activities or different business groups or ideas that are getting put out like what we're talking about, you know, unless they have a podcast or they are putting something like that out. So I think that'd be dope.
There are some, but they're real click based.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's no
It's
like
not just
real
open.
like open. Yeah.
We definitely could work something out in that way. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, we start with that. With definitely the barbers though.
Yeah. Start with
do
the
that.
barber. We got to keep it home.
Let's
Keep
start
it
with
home
the barbers.
base.
For sure. Now we're getting clicked out. Look at us.
No. No.
Look at us.
We started keeping in our industry and then we expand from there.
No, it'd be dope. Then we get to see all the new barbers again. We haven't seen a new barber.
And there are a lot of new barbers.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah, the barbers
The
who
newer
are just
barbers
yeah.
coming in Ocala. Yeah. And then like we don't see a lot of them come to the shop either. Like don't be afraid to come into the shop, man. That, I see that a lot where you don't step into a barbershop until like you're working there.
Yeah.
You know? There was like a handful of guys like Jimmy or Joey or like Jeff. Who else has come to the shop? Skills.
I'm throwing Jeff under the bus. Jeff only came because we needed
Oh,
him.
yeah. So-
He never came just.
But
to,
I'm-
shout out Jeff, but you never came just to chill.
But he came on the fly though. But so
He came when he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Pause.
Hey, yo. Yeah, so nobody really shows up. Like, I know I've been to the Barber's Den whenever they first opened. I
Yeah.
used to go to high class all the time. Like,
Yeah.
shit,
Mike came
man.
for a cut. Shout out Mike.
Yeah, Mike came around. That's another one. But like, damn, just
and it could be awkward.
Explore
man,
different
but
shops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just got to put yourself out there and create relationship, man. That's what we lack. You know what I'm saying?
Or getting a cut by another barber.
Dude, yeah, I do that all the time.
I used to.
I don't know about all.
I don't know what other.
Yeah, there's select.
You got to select them out
Yeah.
like really good. I remember I went to King Cuts and got cut by Steve one time. He came over here. Oh, that was another one, Steve, but he's not in over here no more. But that's another one that just came in, chopping it up, and we met through Instagram, and we met in person here. So it's kind of like just go to another.
It's
shop.
one of the things that a lot of people can think about that, but they just don't act on it.
Yeah, you got to be that type of person
Yeah,
too. You know?
have to.
It's not like you have hate in your heart. It's just like you're not a outgoing person, or you just don't want to do it. You don't have any. You don't want to go.
Somebody
there.
needs to break the ice.
That's
for
fine
you.
too. Come to Elevate, baby.
Open door policy.
That's it.
Yeah, best shop in town.
Just not after 8.
He'll be shaking his ass in the back room,
Bro.
Well, shit.
I think that's good,
That's
man.
it. I think that's good,
little
man.
talk. How
Episode
long we
9.
been? We went a good bit. Episode 9. We appreciate y'all coming on. Now you guys get in the flow of being on the show, being on the podcast. You see how it goes. We got to get this more consistent too, because we definitely been, here and there.
You know what? The average podcast doesn't do more than 8 episodes, so we're across the mode.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, hey, we just broke the ceiling.
Hell yeah.
And another thing is we could do little random things, like if we're not all here at the same time that week or whatever, we could just get on, do a little piece and
What are we getting on?
do it.
That would be dope.
So, you know what I mean?
No, that would be a little duo action.
See what goes on.
Triple
We'll see.
threat.
We'll see. We're trying it out. We're in the experimental phase of everything. Everything's always an experiment. So,
I don't know about that.
but anyway, we appreciate y'all. That's a wrap, baby.
We out.
Episode
Yes,
9.
sir.